to Lexington, Kentucky. Record chill in the air this morning, about 1 degree to be exact. But the Kentucky Wildcats right now have the hottest offense in the country, averaging over 90 points a game as they play host to the Drew. Has won 11 out of the last 12. Should be a terrific matchup in front of a great crowd here in the Commonwealth.
Free Big Z, and we'll see him tonight.
Mike Morgan, John Sundvold with you here on a Saturday evening. Packed house, Georgia in black, Kentucky in white. And you see the first shot by the Dogs is a three by their top scorer, Jabri Abdur-Rahim.
Solid offensive set. They're not afraid to get Abdur-Rahim open and early shots. Mike White said, we still want to push the pace. We want good shots, just no live ball turnovers. Let's not let this Kentucky team get off to a big start.
See the starting five for Kentucky. Baseline jumper hit by Aaron Bradshaw, the 7-footer out of New Jersey.
Slowly but surely playing better on the offensive end. Had a good game against Mississippi State. 5 of 8 from the field in that ball game.
Kentucky, the #1 offense in the country. Mike White's team playing some terrific defense and some good offense. Down reeled in by Melendez.
So let's think of Kentucky's offense, though. In the last few years, we were Oscar Tshiebwe's show, right?
Yep.
And if you had Oscar, he wasn't leaving the lane very often, so that didn't allow for a lot of movement and penetration just like that. And so this offense is more open to driving, kicking. They don't have bigs that stand in the post and get in the way.
And they're all willing passers.
Oh, no doubt.
That is a huge plus. A lot of accolades, a lot of All-Americans, but all unselfish.
A girth advantage inside for Russell Tchewa. He's a big guy, 270 pounds. He's a load inside the handle for Kentucky. Changed when they were down 17 at Florida State, and Tallahassee came back and won that game. And things have changed since then. Opened up on the road at Missouri, played outstanding, won their first one on the road in the league.
Reeves, dipsy-do, reverse layup, and a great take by the veterans.
They both score the ball, they share the ball. Great defensive players. And not afraid of big moments. They'll take the biggest shots in the biggest moments that they have to play.
Pass inside. The ultimate glue guy drawing the foul. That is Trey Mitchell. But I think that when you talk to, that is such an advantage, and what a pickup he has been for this team. Tchewa gets an offensive rebound. He's guarded by Big Z right now. Drive and blocked by Big Z. His first meaningful moment.
Ability to move his feet and get to the ball. He doesn't buy fakes. Long reach, easy block. We do not see Abdur-Rahim
to play Kentucky basketball.
Good matchup between the two freshman guards, Blue Kane, Garden Shepard. Good block by Tchewa.
Tchewa coming out of nowhere with that rejection. Shepard with 10 on the shot clock. Wings it over to Reeves. Reeves on the take and thunders it home.
Justin Hill, slow start in his point position. Doesn't look comfortable.
Thomason, a great offensive weapon, but in danger of turning it over here. And Dillingham comes up with the loose change. Ahead to Reeves all the way. Banks it home. Count the basket and a foul. As you mentioned, Sonny, he's added that penetration to his game, much more aggressive.
3 game but 1.
Georgia trying to stop some of the bleeding. That won't do it. An air ball fired up by Demery. Mitchell whips it over to Shepard. Spots up for a 3. Got it!
Tough to defend because the 2 guards out front now for Kentucky have such great range.
Oh, Big Z behind the back to Reeves. Showtime!
Basically a 3-guard offense. You got Blue Kane in it who can shoot it. Demery can shoot it. Justin Hill can score the ball.
Going with a smaller lineup with Deloach patrolling the paint for Georgia. Spot up 3, and nothing but the bottom of the net for Abdur-Rahim. That's his 3rd triple.
And when he's on, teammates must find him early in the flow because he can knock in those open ones.
He came in shooting over 42% from downtown. We got some great shooters in this game. Strong take. Wow. Mid-air, banging bodies. Mitchell said, yeah, you know, the one thing I just want to see from my boy, Dillingham. He's been so electric off the bench.
Dennis Gates from Missouri called Dillingham the best ISO player in the country. High praise.
Onyenso, look at that big man make him. Was. This is Blue, one of the talented freshmen, Blue Kane.
So think of Blue Kane as a freshman playing against freshman guards at Kentucky. He's going to want to have a big night. It's just the way it is. Same with Demery, the point guard for the Bulldogs, a freshman. He's going to want to play well against the freshman McDonald All-American guys at Kentucky.
Aggressive sweeping layup by Kane. Open three, rattled home. Kentucky, the #2 3-point shooting team in the league at 39%. And they're making over 10 threes a game. Talking to Cal earlier today, he says, I've never had a team that really was prepared to 3-point field goals a game. It just hasn't been a big part of
Staff Willard that's the staff. I mean, unbelievable.
Right.
He's got Blue Kane as a freshman, Demery's a freshman, both guards out front.
Kick out pass to Thomason, wired to score. Thomason takes it all the way and draws the foul. Noah Thomason, the lefty. Johnson and the Gamecocks, impressive win.
The other night, they pulled out a game at the buzzer against A&M, kept them with the lead, and then went won the ball game.
He actually started in the season opener against Oregon. That's the first Georgia freshman to do so since Anthony Edwards in 2019, who's lighting it up in the NBA for the Timberwolves. Inside, there's the big guy muscling his way to the rack. That's Chiwa.
275 pounds. He moves well, shoots 75% from the free throw line. So he is not bashful to attack and even get to the foul line.
When we asked Mike White, give us one player that really needs to step up his game tonight, he said Chiwa. We've got to have him play big against this Kentucky front line.
And it's tough because most Kentucky guys play outside, even their bigs do.
Demery hounded by Dillingham, who also leads the SEC in steals with 2.5. Backdoor cut, pump fake, and Abdur-Rahim does a great job of drawing the foul. 4 games at Texas Tech and South Florida.
Things to your team that you have to fix throughout the whole season.
I think we've seen that in a couple of cases. The portal can help you. It can also hurt you if you don't get the right combination of guys.
Keep an eye on Z. He's a face-up guy, can knock in jump shots.
Big Z for 3. Are you kidding me? Unreal!
Who would understand all that, send him home, let him come back, and what a night he has put on so far.
How about what Coach Cal is dialing up here? Twin Tower action. You got 7-1 Bradshaw, 7-2 Big Z. Wagner slashing, throws it up there and flips. You think of Tolu Smith of Mississippi State.
And great to see him back.
Fade and fire, good-looking shot, but it rims off for Thomason.
Boy, Z's got great hands. You can just see it.
Not Big Z again. That's a deep 2. And that's another long-range jumper knocked down. And Big Z says, hey, you're going to leave me open. I'm going to bury it.
Talking to Jack Gibbons, a great Jack Gibbons, he said before the game he might be our best shooter.
Wow. As we approach the 6.5-minute mark of this first half, Kentucky up by 11. Dillingham. To Big Z again, no hesitation. My goodness, what in the world? To the steal.
If he makes another one, Cal might just sit down.
This crowd won't. They're all standing here at Rupp Arena. Another sellout in Lexington. They haven't played a home game on a Saturday in over a month. Oh no! Oh no! Oh yes! Again, Big Z!
Ankle or foot very well.
Teardrop hits the front iron for Thomason. And now Kentucky a little sloppy. Another turnover. Melendez ahead of the pack. Melendez, one of their X-factor guys. He is a big part of the equation for Georgia.
So you've got 4:30 some on this clock for Georgia to get slowly back in and gain some momentum before halftime. Boy, Wagner can turn that corner, can he?
He certainly can.
So strong, so strong.
Kentucky was on skates, so smooth, maintaining his balance. Kentucky up 43-26. There's a block. Onyenso going for another one. And this time, Chiwa draws the contact and a foul.
It's Missouri. He had 18 points and 11 rebounds of that. Now,
knuckleball on the second night. Shepard passed it up
look
to Reeves. Great box out that time by Melendez. Here come the Dogs. Moncrief got his defender in the air, and Matthew Alexander, nothing short of miraculous up to this point.
That's why I said on the open, it's kind of like coming to a circus.
Number 1 South Carolina squares off against Texas A&M as well. Mike Morgan, John Sundvold, great to be with you this Saturday evening. Brutal cold outside, but man, oh man, is Kentucky kind of a ho-hum performance too. You don't feel like they've even played their best basketball yet. A couple of guys that have not heated up as of yet.
Nice
Backdoor
pass.
cut, and there on the finish, that'll be a goaltend. Big Z.
To run stuff through them on the elbows or up top, and backdoor cuts.
Can't say enough about what Mike Dwight's team has done in this his second year in Athens. They've won 11 out of 12, and the one loss was a game they easily could have had. Was the longest in over half a century for Georgia basketball.
The challenge tonight has been the fact they've not been able to stop Kentucky off the bounce. They're getting anything they want, getting to the paint.
So he looks so easy, doesn't he?
He really does. He's now in his second season here at Kentucky. He's an older player, though, 23 years old. That makes a difference. But
over 9 points a game.
love this guy, love his game. Tough, and I think that's why they're 13-4 on the season.
Big guard, too, at 6'5", a buck 9%. Opponents are shooting from behind the arc. Georgia will try a three. That misses everything. Sunahara can't find it. Reeds behind the back and draws the foul on Kane. As Reeds rattles the first.
Turn it over. They haven't had a ton of turnovers. But take a look. Kentucky's got 49.
And again, 49
Explosive.
points. And, yeah, it's so explosive. And they can come from so many different guys. That's the difference. Nice pass and a two-hand flush on the other end by Deloach.
And that's the strength of Justin Hill, being good with the ball, making decisions, gets to the paint easily, crafty with the basketball.
He had some big plays down the stretch in that big come-from-behind win against Florida State. Shepherd on a three. Got it. Statistically, a 52-point half for the Wildcats. Tangling up with Bradshaw.
You've got to pick your poison. If it can be passed.
Freshman you have in this guy.
It's been only the 9 that he's played. He came off the injury. Shot clock is off.
Dogs playing for the final shot. Demery milking it under 10 seconds, hounded by Shepherd. Demery into the corner with 5 seconds. Kick out pass. Abdur-Rahim passed up the three, drives, and draws the contact on the foul with 1.2 on the clock. I thought for sure Abdur-Rahim was going to take that three. The #1 free throw shooter in the SEC at that 89% from the field, 27 from three. Under pressure by Georgia. Bradshaw will inbound it, and it'll go to Georgia. And Justin Hill could not scoop it up cleanly.
2 missed opportunities for these Bulldogs. Can't miss many more early in this half.
Now you've got a small margin of error to get back in this game. Edwards on a rise and fire. He misses, but there with a rebound is the ultimate glue guy in Trey Mitchell. Seating, he was not going to be able to stop him that close to the basket. Backdoor cut and an easy flush that time by Sunahara.
Well, Reeves was guarded
Here for Nova Southeastern. They went 36-0.
undefeated. They beat Missouri St. Louis, coached by my older brother Bob, in the Elite Eight.
Now, see,
Only by a bucket.
I did not know that was going to connect a dot to the Sundvold family as the bank is open for Wagner. Of course, that 84 team was honored at the half, the Final Four team for Kentucky, and Sam Bowie led the way on the microphone. And I know you and Sam crossed paths several times during your career.
We did, and we got to talk before the game tonight. He did a great speech at halftime
He was
about
terrific.
the 84 squad.
Working the room.
Said he wanted to be now known as Big Z throughout Kentucky.
Mitchell shows off his range. He can hit the threes, 35% on the year from downtown. Demery, beautiful take to the bucket.
Back and forth, the Bulldogs, though, can't just trade baskets. Got to find a way to slow him down. Wagner's so difficult because he's so good with the ball. Gets to the paint, makes it easy for teammates.
Another three and another make. This time it's Justin Edwards.
Mike, if you don't guard the ball, if you don't guard the bounce, you are in absolute trouble, especially in this league.
Coach Cal telling us he still has so much faith in Justin Edwards Just wants him to play with a little more confidence out there. Great job carving up space and finishing. Chiwa is just a low down on the box.
275 pounds, and he's mobile.
That's the key, too. I mean, moves almost like a big man with a soccer background.
Can't stay in front of him, can you? You cannot do it.
A drive and kick sets up Abdur-Rahim on a three. Well, he started off hot as a firecracker, but has gone chilly from outside. How about another one? He could use one to drop. Instead, he'll get 3 free throws as the foul is committed.
Butler's hand, Edwards' hand. Now, try to be a player.
The shooter had space to land. I'm guessing that's what the call was there. As you see
How open the shots were.
I mean, there have been games where
we've seen Dillingham do it all season. We saw the massive free throws with a smile on his face.
Yes,
that were delivered against A&M by Shepherd.
Clutch, to say the least. Wagner on another drive and another bucket. They can't stop it.
Really can't. And tonight he's really favored going left.
And a great take on the other end by Demery, hooping the harm. A chance for 3.
Sam was such a great player. We saw against A&M, they had a hard time with the high pick and rolls, the freshman guards against veteran guards that could turn the corner or make jump shots. Boy, they scored again. Woo! Same play, same result, second layup from underneath out of bounds. You rarely see one, let alone 2.
And Melendez off a trampoline on the two-hand stuff. Turnaround jumper. That's who Mike White said.
When we read all the stories, he is the guy that's the true leader for especially the young players.
Came from West Virginia. There's Shepherd on a steal. He leads the league in steals. Ahead to Reeves. And a beautiful finish with the left.
Challenge this team throughout this season, in conference season, to get them ready for the NCAA tournament. They'll have to go to Tennessee. I don't know the schedule. Look, but if they play at Tennessee, any of these places that are tough, they lost at A&M, right? They were challenged by an older team. Working on shooting. I said, don't hit the rim. And he kind of looked at me. I said, no, don't hit the rim. Count hitting the rim a miss. Then you change your thought process on shooting.
Reeves.
Wow.
Goodness. Wow.
See, now I'm not going to defend Z because that's an elbow. He is 7'2".
Right. Have to keep that face pretty for your trips to the mansion.
IW.
Not to mention, as that one crawls the game, they love the game, they show up for the games. But he wants them to be loud and rowdy, too. Not just enough to show up. And I tell you what, today, they have been loud, they have been rowdy, and they have made their points.
Just praises the fact of his leadership.
Georgia zoning up Kentucky. A popular strategy in years past when Kentucky has not been a great three-point shooting team. Strong take, high off the glass, and a foul drawn by Justin Hill for Georgia. So they're 3-0 before this game on the road. When this game stay with it, that was a signature moment for Georgia. Kentucky. It's going to be real hard to make a comeback here.
I listened to Mike White's press conference this week. Back home in Athens before they left Kentucky. He knew how good Kentucky was. But he said, hey, we have to catch some breaks, got to make some shots. Ball has to bounce our way.
It has blocked by Ansel Amidi. Big Z wheeling and dealing. Missed the dunk, though. He wanted the foul. Here comes Kane on the other end. Abdur-Rahim on a three. He got fouled. Count the basket. A chance at a 4-point play. And maybe that opens the door a little bit for the Georgia Bulldogs. Got teed up.
Here's a spin.
He wants the foul on Ansel Amidi.
My son, I like a spin move like Earl to Pearl Monroe.
The 80s as we speak.
Boy.
Oh my goodness.
Although I live in Missouri, it's the same temperature.
1 degree. That's right.
Not 0.
Well, it's going to warm up to about 60 by the end of this week here in Lexington.
They'll be in shorts and short sleeve shirts.
That's right. Mitchell carving out space. He gets an and one.
Off the bounce, as we see a lot of teams and players. This is a big inside. 6'10".
Georgia back to the zone. I don't know. How would you try to defend? There's another They're going to give him the basket or not?
Oriented, and your guards are solid enough defensively. You just rise up and shoot it with great depth.
They did give Mitchell credit for the basket, so the free throw gives him now 19. Mitchell and Reeves each with 19 to lead the way. Good take by Demery. Mitchell has scored the last 8 points for Kentucky. Mitchell at the free throw line. Wheeling.
Boy, so solid his body.
Kick out pass to a wide open Wagner. That was all Mitchell.
So Mitchell makes the spin, gets the bump. It doesn't bother him. He could have taken a shot. Unselfish play, kicks it out, and they get a 3 instead of a 2.
Foul on Wagner.
Sometimes guys,
they get steals, they get blocks.
I mean, if you catch him on a night like Georgia catches them tonight, you're not going to beat them.
No, especially in this building. Now, give A&M credit. I mean, they found just enough to win that game in College Station.
Well, it took terrific performances by Wade Taylor the fourth and Boots Radford, 31 and 28. Guys on this your side, they can do it.
Just depending on how this team finishes up the year. This team had
week, you watch them, you shake your head.
Yeah. Mitchell to Wagner and out to Reeves.
I mean, that ball moves from one side of the court to the other. You've got the shifting of the defense that as it shifts, then the guy who gets it can come back. 9 points, 9 minutes, 43 seconds left.
Reeves, 80 behind the scenes look. That's at 9 o'clock Eastern time right here. And Bruce Pearl's had a lot of talented teams.
Homer Road, you had.
I had them at home. Okay. And as we know, they're much different. They are really scary there. But think about this. They have 10 guys that play 15 minutes or more. 10 of them. And when I say they play 15 minutes or more, meaningful minutes, contributions from all 10 of those guys. I don't know many teams in America that can say that. There's a steal and a breakaway for Melendez, who once again gives the rim. Chiwe gets it down low.
Nice pass.
Nice drop off and a miss that time. No finish by Demery. Shepard on a drive and kick. Wagner bounce pass to Mitchell. Beautiful.
Isn't that crazy? I'm now doing grandkids. He was Milt Wagner was a teammate of mine, Miami Heat.
Shepard is perfect. 4 for 4. Machine. That's one player I would love to see.
I got to see him play in the pros. Oh, that's play number 3.
Yep.
Three layups on the underneath out of bounds.
Something to work on. You always want something to complain about after a big win, right?
I'm going to say one of the assistants over there, not sure which one, is uncomfortable about the scout and how he was playing underneath out of bounds. I'm just saying that's how it goes.
Dillingham has it rim off.
So anyway, when I was in high school, Kansas City Kings, the Sacramento Kings were in Kansas City. My political science teacher, Miss Betsy Hall, was season ticket holder. And when Pete Maravich would come to town, she would take me. She had front row seats. So I got to see Pete play a couple times.
Abdur-Rahim on a triple. That's a pretty cool teacher. I didn't have a professor that was that cool. They were too busy threatening to give me a lower grade if it wasn't for better attendance. But that's a whole other story.
Well, that's a good thing we were in class. See, we didn't have any online stuff.
Dillingham falling to the floor, gets a dime to Onyenson.
So, Mike, you were here, what's the record for Ruppland?
118. We had the game again. Dillingham turns it over. Georgia, numbers, finish,
like it.
I like foul.
I like it. I like guys who play hard. I like guys that are tough.
Muscle his way in. He couldn't do it. Too much resistance by Big Blue. The Rupp Arena record, by the way, for points. Big Z on a 3, and finally showing he's human. And then an offensive foul on Kentucky. The Rupp Arena record, Baton Rouge, and wound up winning the game. Some of those Rick Pitino teams. See the hoop scoop on Abdur-Rahim and Pops. Pops would be very happy with what Jabri has been able to do tonight with 33 points. Big Z down low, two-hand flush, and then does it sit up on the rim. That's going to get you a technical foul. And Big Z is going to learn that quickly. That doesn't fly.
Yeah, we've talked about getting stat sheet, everything filled up.
100 to 82. Yeah, Abdur-Rahim, by the way, his 34. That's a new career high for him. North Carolina. Regardless of pace to surpass the win total of a year ago, and I would say, depending on did everything right up until the no-look touch pass.
Yeah, that's when you take the bounce and dunk it.
And then a clear path for Justin Hill.
Solid screen.
These dogs are not going to lay down.
Oh, impressive. They go by road dogs because they've been so good on the road. And how about Wagner?
Just makes everything look so effortless.
And of all the players that you're probably going to give an open look to, that's probably the guy you think, well, he might not make it.
Double-double for Wagner, by the way. 18 points, 10.
Really playing downhill, trying to just get it to the paint, get it to the rim.
You got Abdur-Rahim at the bottom of your screen trying to spot up for another three if the ball gets there. Instead, it'll be a fade and fire and a hit by Demery.
That'd have been something.
That would have made 37.
So you told me a big man in like what, 80s?
In the 80s.
SEC player or no?
No.
80s big guy. How about the Admiral?
Dropping nuggets here in the final 90 seconds.
Been a lot of names.
We're doing it. Mitchell just doing it so workmanlike. 23 points, nothing to it. What a key pickup he has been out of West Virginia. Of course, Bob Huggins no longer the coach here. That paved the way for him to hit the portal. Rise and fire. Mid-range jumper is good. Full court pressure by Georgia. And again, you get so many guys great with the basketball to not make a mistake here. And this is one of them, and Shepherd, who draws the foul.
You pretty much are going to seal games at the end. Just again, at treat.
He is an offensive dynamo at 6'6" with a 3-level game. Shot rims off. That last review, by the way, who the ball was out of bounds on, and obviously Georgia got it back, and then Georgia will go back to the free throw line. Looking player, no question about that. Mike White's got a great recruiting class coming in as well. And a number of the players you see in a Jordan the NCAA tournament. You've got to go back to 2015. Well, I am pretty confident that Mike White is going to get him back there sooner rather than later. That pops out for Dillingham. The final 30 seconds of this game. Melendez, how about another slam? He's been given
full court pressure, but they're not fouling. Just setting up a defense to see what they can do and how they can do it. Shepherd good with the basketball.
To Dillingham.
Mike White does not want his guys to foul.
Well,
a great effort by these Bulldogs, but impressed with what Kentucky can do.
Incredibly impressed by Kentucky. So many memorable performances tonight. I think it's safe to say the guy that still stole the show, even though he only played a few minutes, Big Z. I think what Big Z did in the first 5 minutes of action will be remembered around here for a long time to come. Kentucky wins it by a final of 105-96. The